Oh my god. Oh. People, you are truly looking at the face of a broken man after this episode. I don't even know how I'm going to approach this review. I guess I can start with, what's up everyone, it's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I bring you an anime review of ReZero, episode 15. Easily the best episode of ReZero to date. 10 out of 10 episode. But I don't know how to approach it. I mean, the Subaru is so broken that it's affecting me to see him go through all this time and time again, to see the stakes get higher and higher, to see the deaths get more brutal, and even to the point that Amelia was saying that he's doing all of this stuff for himself, and to get a nemesis in this episode that even when Subaru was broken down mentally to the point where he was basically a damn vegetable, for this crazed, sadistic villain to even say that maybe he's even acting like he is out of his mind to get sympathy. I'm at odds because in some strange, crazy way, I kind of agree with Betelgeuse, who we met this week, that maybe Subaru was acting because he felt that would be the best way to get out of this situation. But at the same time, after seeing everything that he's going through and can't even tell people what he's going through, and to keep going through it more and more and have his deaths and the deaths around him and everything that he sees just continue to increase, it's like, how can you question that? Unless you're so crazy yourself, you don't see it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how this review is going to go. I know as of late, I've been trying to retool the page and bring you guys more of my thoughts instead of a straight recap of the episode. But this episode was such a masterpiece. This episode was so great that I feel like I can't miss a scene. And I want to go through it with you all. So if this video is long, thank you all in advance for dealing with it, because I can't say how long it's going to be at this point. So, without further ado, I say let's take it back old school. Take it back 2 weeks ago old school, and let's get down to the breakdown. As the episode starts off with a completely destroyed Subaru wandering through the city as he sees the dead body of Rem. The dead body of all the men, women, and children in the village. Some people are burned. Kids dead with stakes and everything in their bodies, and him to see Rem on the floor dead. He's just at a state right now where he's just walking around just mumbling for someone to help him. He's just someone help me. Even going into the castle and seeing everybody in the castle dead. Seeing Ram dead. Seeing anybody that was in the castle dead. And wandering down into the depths of a completely frozen basement, wondering if Amelia's still alive. Only for him to see the door is frozen, and he grabs the door and it's so frozen with such ferocity of this magic that it tears off his damn fingers. I mean, I heard that ReZero was going to get into some berserk shit at some point. We're here. We're already here now, as again the stakes just keeps getting higher and higher and more intense with every episode as this series grows. And we're on episode 15. We got almost halfway to go still, so who knows how more berserk like, how more severe this series is going to get before it's all over. But not trying to get too far off the episode, after he seen that his fingers was pretty much frozen off, he falls to the ground himself, and his entire body is filled with ice as he hears someone says it's too late. And he's so frozen that he himself cracks and dies once again. So he didn't have to kill himself. But once again, we're going to have to find out how he got to this point as we wake up and find that our save point was actually back in the courtyard or the marketplace with the shopkeeper. And this is where our episode is going to continue, as he is literally broken. He's a vegetable at this state as he sees Rem. And he's so happy and relieved to see her alive that he hugs her with tears in his eyes. But he's left in such a broken mental state that he's literally just like this the entire episode, or at least half of it. I mean, he just looks insane. You know, Rem takes him back to Crucian Felix and says, yeah, we healed his mana gate, But in order to heal his mental state, that's something we can't do. I'm sorry. He's going to have to come out of this on his own. Rem understands and decides to take him back to the castle. And they're on the dragon carriage back to the castle. And he's just in this state the entire episode. You just feel so bad for him because I'm surprised he didn't go this crazy earlier in the series. And we do get a big moment with Rem in this episode as before they depart back to the castle, she's talking with Felix and Crush. And Crush says, she kind of points out that she knows that Rem is in love with Subaru. However, she's going to keep them feelings to herself. She didn't deny it with Crush, but she's going to keep the feelings to herself because this is the first time that she's been truly happy. But she also feels that maybe if he just sees Amelia, maybe if Amelia can forgive him for what he did, this can pull him out of the state. So they're going to head back to the castle with that thought in mind. And while we're on the topic of Rem, this is a character when she was first introduced. When this series started, I didn't expect to give a shit about it all. Only to find out that she probably even has more development than our main character himself. Because you know with Subaru, he just got dropped into his world. We don't know anything about his life before then. We just see him as a kid who was dropped into a world and he think he's in a video game. Who knows what happened to him before he got there. And some of this stuff might actually come into play later, I hope. And it might even lead to this mental complete breakdown that he had. And for her to start to have the feelings that she has for him, it's just a big move for the character who started off as just pretty much a doll. I mean, she had no feelings or anything. And for her to have these feelings inside for Subaru and to do the things that she does for him just because she loves him, because she's his friend, is what makes this episode even more powerful and is going to leave you completely wrecked by the end of it, as they don't even get back to the city yet, as the dragon carriage is straight up beheaded by some people before they get there and they're attacked. And again, you have Subaru who's just in a mental slump and helpless on the ground. And we find out and it is confirmed that these people are called the witch cultists, the same people who attacked Rem and Ram's village and killed everybody except them before they were saved by Roswell when they were kids. And that's something I want to bring up as well, because this guy Betelgeuse, or Betelgeuse, not Beetlejuice, you get confused, he kind of looks like Roswell, which makes me think that Roswell is maybe still with these guys, or maybe he's reformed. I still don't trust him, but it's definitely putting two and two together after meeting this Betelgeuse guy. So while Rem is going in against these cultures, she's still overwhelmed, but she's still going to fight to her last breath, taking these guys out, as they has kidnapped Subaru at this point and taking him back to their sadistic master, probably the most sadistic and vile person we definitely seen this season, and probably I've seen in anime in a very long time. This guy is scum, straight up sadistic scum. I want him dead, I want him gone. Betelgeuse, the crazy clown, as he has the mentally broken Subaru tied up and basically lecturing him, saying, I wonder if you're acting like you're this crazy to get sympathy, because I can't get anything out of you. I'm crazy. I know crazy when I see it. You're faking crazy. And that's why I'm going back to saying maybe he's right. Maybe Subaru was faking because something that came up later on in the episode. He's trying to find out what happened to Rem, as he knows that she was with Subaru before he was kidnapped, and one of the people with him, one of the other cultists, tells him that they don't know if she's alive or dead. So he grabs this guy and just starts laughing and slamming his head to the ground until he kills him and basically goes back to normal. Like, you cry, you feel me, Then he just goes back like, okay, so find her, bring her back to me dead. Even if you bring her back to me alive, kill her when she's in front of me. And he goes back to Subaru, and this is where we get the most powerful moment of the episode. Subaru's mental state intrigues Betelgeuse, as he can wonder how someone can even love him with the way that he's in, as he senses something, and right before he gets into a little bit more of the sickness that he was about to do, Rem comes in and starts going in on some more of the cultures, only for her to straight up be stopped in her tracks by Betelgeuse and suspended up in the air. And he starts to twist her body like a damn pretzel, from head to toe, the arms to neck. The whole scene was just unsettling. I mean, I couldn't even watch it. I had to walk away for a bit, as he just twisted her like a pretzel, and her body's just suspended in the air, twisted and lumped, which brings Subaru back to reality. Is this entire time, as Betelgeuse is going on this religious type rant about insanity and love and everything like that, you just hear Subaru in the back just going, as he vows to kill Betelgeuse for what he did. So he says, you know what, this isn't good enough for me. I'm going to leave her body up here. No, matter of fact, I'm going to drop her body down with it all broken and mangled. I'm going to leave you here and let you think about what you did. And you just got this broken Subaru still in his mental state or coming back to his normal state. He's just beating his head against the ground and he's chained up and he's like raking the chains trying to get loose, and he just gives up after a while. And we still see that Rem has a little bit of life in her when Betelgeuse leaves, and her body's just mangled and twisted as she's crawling towards Subaru, and he pulls her in and hugs her. I mean, he's just crying. He's bawling his arms out, and she uses the last bit of her strength to free him from the locks, and she was able to get out to live, and that I love you. And this just tears Subaru apart as she confesses her love to him as her very last words to him. And he's gonna carry her broken body back to the village, only to find that everybody in the village was still slain. Rem and everybody in the village was completely dead. Everything that he did at this point was for nothing, because everything still ended up the same way it was when he got to the village. It's just the events happened a little bit differently. And that's not the end of his suffering. As he's walking towards the castle, we see this big shadow goon, like rat creature type of thing. We don't know what it is. It's just big as the entire castle. Says to Subaru to sleep just like my daughter. As it pans out and we see Subaru gets beheaded. And he's still holding Rem's body to the very end, even without a head on his body, as the snow falls and the credits roll. And that we thought was the end of the episode. And I'm already wrecked at this point completely. As we say, was that the real witch? Was that the jealous witch that came out from this castle and beheaded Subaru? If not, who the fuck is it? But we do get an end credits scene where, because he was beheaded, that was the reset point for him, taking him back to the garden. Now with the newly resolved Subaru determined to save Rem no matter what, he takes her hand. He snaps out of his mental state quickly and says, I'm going to save her no matter what. And he grabs her hand and says, take my hand. And she notices that something's different about them, and she even says that the stench on you from the witch is stronger than ever. What's going on? But you just see red determination in Subaru's face as he heads towards the castle. And that was the end of the episode, people. Again, I know this was a little bit long, but I had to get everything that I could find out here, and I really don't have any points because I did that. Just that I wonder if Roswell now is a part of this cult still, or was he a former member? I really want to know what's going on with him. At some point, I would like to know more about Subaru's life before then, because I have a feeling that's going to tie into the type of things that he's going into. I mean, we don't know if he came from battered home or what. I mean, it's probably not important, but it'll be nice to know that down the line, because I got a feeling that's going to play a factor into things too. Also, where do we go from here? I mean, no matter what he did, everyone still died around him. I want to know, what was the ice person downstairs? I mean, he was looking for Amelia when he went down there, and then that's when things happened. What happened to Amelia? What happened to Puck? What happened to these people as well? I guess we'll just have to wait for next week, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And damn, I still got Orange to look at after seeing this episode wreck me so much, so maybe that'll make me feel better and put a smile on my face, but I know that's Field Train City, so we'll just have to see what happens with that. I'll try to bring you guys Orange today. If not, it'll be later on down the line. So again, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. As I always say, if you guys like the video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as there's no shortage of content on this channel for you guys to indulge in. So be sure to join me later, or for my next review, which will be tomorrow with Taboo Tattoo and possibly Mob Psycho 100. If not, that'll be Tuesday for sure. I'll squeeze Orange in as well, but that's going to be the bulk of the reviews for the week. So as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me, and I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. Double see you soon.